You're listening to the Dibbly Dobbly podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to make sure you get the latest episodes of the podcast. Be sure to like and share our Facebook page as well. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Dibbly Dobbly podcast. On today's episode of the podcast, we review match number 4 of IPL 2021 between the Rajasthan Royals and the Punjab Kings. It's the Dibbly Dobbly podcast, and let's get started. Let's have a look at the match summary between the Rajasthan Royals and the Punjab Kings for Game 4 of IPL 2021 from Mumbai. The Punjab Kings batted first and made 6 for 221 from their 20 overs. KL Rahul top scored with 91 off 50 balls. Sakrika took 3 wickets for the Royals. The Rajasthan Royals finished on 7 for 217. Sanju Samson top scored with 119 off 63 balls. Arshdeep Singh took 3 wickets for the Punjab Kings. The Punjab Kings won by 4 runs, and Sanju Samson was named man of the match. What were some of the key moments and key factors between the Rajasthan Royals and the Punjab Kings? I thought the Punjab Kings' deft bowling was the key factor in this game, because the last 3 overs were brilliant deft bowling from Jai Richardson, Riley Meredith and Arshdeep Singh. I thought they bowled really well at the death, and the Punjab Kings knew, obviously Sanju Samson was still at the crease, and if he got the runs, obviously the Royals were winning this game easily. He did so well to get them close. Obviously 119 off 63 balls is a wonderful innings, and rightly so, he was named man of the match. But it was brilliant bowling from Jai Richardson, Riley Meredith and Arshdeep Singh. Those 3 overs at the death were brilliant from the Punjab Kings, because they knew, the Punjab Kings, that we had to bowl really well at the death, because if they got their line and length slightly wrong on this pitch here in Mumbai, just like everyone else did in the match, you were going to go for runs. They executed their lines and lengths under pressure, and they got the job done in the end for the Punjab Kings and defended the 221, which was a fantastic effort from those 3 bowlers there in Jai Richardson, Riley Meredith and Arshdeep Singh. Pretty much that was the key moment in this match, and pretty much that's the key moment that led to the Punjab Kings winning this match by 4 runs. Let's have a look at the team performances from both teams in this match. We'll start with the Rajasthan Royals and their batsmen. Stokes 0, Vora 12, Samson 119, Butler 25, Dubey 23, Prayag 25, Tewatia 2 and Morris 2 not out. Let's have a look at their bowlers. Sakriya took 3 wickets, 2 wickets for Morris, a wicket for Prayag, no wickets for Dubey, Tewatia, Gopal and Raman. That's how the Rajasthan Royals went about things in this game as a team. Great effort from the Rajasthan Royals to get so close. Unfortunately, they fell by 4 runs. They fell 4 runs short in the end. A brilliant innings from Sanju Samson to get them close to chasing this epic total set by the Punjab Kings. Unfortunately, his innings went in vain. He couldn't get the job done, but it was a superb knock nevertheless, and he was named man of the match, and rightly so, because it was a wonderful knock and brilliant ball striking from him. Let's talk about the Rajasthan Royals batting first of all. I thought they batted pretty well. It was a really good batting surface here in Mumbai. The ball was coming onto the bat quite nicely. Bowlers found it tough to contain runs and contain pressure throughout this whole match. If you got it slightly wrong on this pitch with your line and length, you were going to get dispatched over the rope for 6. And we saw plenty of 6s in this unbelievable run-scoring affair here in Mumbai. Sanju Samson's knock of 119 was outstanding. It's very important for him as the captain to play a knock like this, because it shows the rest of the team, and obviously for the Rajasthan Royals this season, it's going to be a tough season for them, no doubt about that. But what I saw from Samson in this game was a captain standing up, leading from the front, showing the team that no matter what happens in this season, we got to have that belief that we can win. And they nearly did. They nearly caused an upset. Obviously, the Punjab Kings won in the end by 4 runs, obviously. But no one expected the Rajasthan Royals to get so close like they did. It was 4 runs in the end. That was the difference between the two sides. After 40 overs of cricket from both innings, it was only 4 runs in the end. So they did very well to get close. And I think this will be a great confidence booster for the team. Even though they didn't win, getting close the way they did was a great effort. And it just gives them that belief that no matter what happens in this season, we can do something special. So it's great signs for them in terms of self-belief, in terms of, trying to improve as a team as we progress in this IPL. But going back to Sanju Samson, his knock was superb. 119 was outstanding. As I said before, leading from the front as captain, and it was a brilliant knock. Got them so close to chasing down the 221. Unfortunately, didn't quite get the job done, but I don't think he should be disappointed about that knock, because this will give him lots of confidence as captain, obviously, and obviously as a batsman going forward for the rest of the IPL. So the batting overall was pretty good. Obviously, they can look at areas to get better at with their batting, the Rajasthan Royals, but overall, it was a great effort to get close, but unfortunately, they couldn't get the job done. Let's talk about their bowling. Their bowling was poor, and no surprise, obviously both bowling attacks were pretty poor on this pitch. It was an absolute batsman's paradise on this surface here in Mumbai at the 1KD Stadium. Their bowlers at times missed their lines and lengths, and they slightly mis-executed with their lines and lengths. If you slightly got it wrong with your lines and lengths on this pitch, you were going to get dispatched, and we saw plenty of sixes being hit throughout this whole game. So I wasn't surprised there. Obviously for them, it's just about improving that consistency with their lines and lengths. Obviously they couldn't get wickets at regular intervals to put pressure on the Punjab Kings batsmen early in the innings. Obviously, no Jofra Archer is a big blow for the Royals this season. He probably won't play the rest of the season. So it's a big hole to fill for the Rajasthan Royals. Who replaces Archer? You can't really replace him. But obviously having him not there is obviously going to be a big blow for them this season. But I thought Sakriya did pretty well. I thought he bowled pretty well. 3 wickets he took on debut in the IPL. Very impressed with him. So maybe he could be the person, he could be the bowler to replace Jofra Archer for the Rajasthan Royals this year. So their bowling overall was poor. Obviously, they bowled a lot of extras as well, no balls and wides, so they really need to improve that side of the bowling as well. Not bowl too many no balls and give away free hits, and obviously get the line and length right in terms of the wides, tighten that up, and stop conceding those easy runs. So overall, their bowling was poor, but they can get better and improve their bowling. Their fielding was poor as well. They dropped too many catches. They missed opportunities which should have been taken. Unfortunately, they weren't taken. And at this level, especially in the IPL, you got to take those chances. Unfortunately, they couldn't take those chances in this game. If they took those catches, it would have been a different story. They would have been chasing a lot less than 221. But they didn't take the catches, and therefore the Punjab Kings got to 221. So they need to really work on their fielding heading into the next game. Overall, a good effort, I should say, from this Rajasthan Royals team. This game will give them some confidence heading in to the next game for them, and also for the rest of the IPL season. It's going to be a tough season for them, as we all know, but Sanju Samson in this game has shown the way that this team should play their cricket. Be fearless. Go out there, play your best, try your best, and you never know. They may cause some upsets throughout this season. But under his leadership as captain and Kumar Sangakkara as coach, the Rajasthan Royals are in very good hands. And it's going to be a tough season for them, but for them, it's just about getting better each and every game. And you never know, they may cause some upsets along the way. But overall, a great effort to get close the way they did. Unfortunately, they didn't get the job done, but this game will give them lots of confidence moving forward. Let's have a look at the Punjab Kings team performance from this game. We'll start with their batsmen. Rahul, 91. Agarwal, 14. Gale, 40. Huda, 64. Puran, 0. Shahrukh Khan, 6 not out. And Jai Richardson, 0. Let's have a look at their bowlers. 3 wickets for Ashdeep Singh. 2 wickets for Shami. A wicket each for Jai Richardson and Meredith. No wickets for Ashwin. That's how the Punjab Kings performed as a team in this match. A great performance from the Punjab Kings to start their IPL campaign for 2021. Great to get a win first up for them, and this will give them lots of confidence going forward. Let's talk about their batting. I thought their batting tonight in this game was pretty good from the Punjab Kings. KL Rahul led from the front as captain, 91, continuing his great form from last year's IPL, which is great for the Punjab Kings going forward in this IPL. I thought they did well in backing up partnerships in this game. Obviously, 67 for the second wicket between Gale and Rahul, 105 for the third wicket with KL Rahul and Huda. Obviously contributed to the Punjab Kings getting to a very good score of 221 on this very good batting surface in Mumbai. So they did very well to back up the partnerships there, and really it helped them to get a really good score in the end. The Punjab Kings pretty much punished anything that was loose from the Rajasthan Royals bowlers, because like both bowling attacks on this surface in Mumbai, really found it hard to contain runs. And obviously it was a great batting surface. So if you get it slightly wrong with your line and length, you're going to go for runs. And they pounced on that, the Punjab Kings, and they made the Rajasthan Royals bowlers pay. So overall, good signs on the batting front for the Punjab Kings going forward for the remainder of this IPL. Good to see their key batsmen getting runs early. Obviously, that will boost their confidence as we progress through this IPL. Excuse me. Let's have a look at their bowling performance. As the Rajasthan Royals, their bowling performance was poor as well, the Punjab Kings. But their death bowling was good. That's the only impressive thing about their bowling. Excuse me. That was the only impressive thing about their bowling, the Punjab Kings. Obviously, all the bowlers struggled from both sides, but I thought the death bowling from the Punjab Kings was pretty good. The last 3 overs of the run chase was pretty good from Jai Richardson, Meredith, and Ashdeep Singh, who bowled the last 3 overs for the Punjab Kings. They bowled pretty well to finish off the game for the Punjab Kings and defend the 221. So it was great death bowling there from the Punjab Kings, and that's brilliant signs going forward. Obviously, Jai Richardson and Riley Meredith were their big auction purchases this year, and obviously they've performed well in their first game. So that's great signs for the Punjab Kings going forward, that Jai Richardson and Riley Meredith are performing straight up in this first game for them. And obviously that will put them in good stead for the rest of the IPL. I thought Ashdeep Singh bowled well at the death as well, took 3 wickets. Obviously Richardson and Meredith took a wicket each. So great signs, as I said before, for those bowlers and also for the Punjab Kings going forward as a bowling unit. So overall, their bowling was okay. Obviously, at times they mis-executed their lines and lengths. Obviously, they got, excuse me, they got dispatched for some runs. Obviously, this surface in Mumbai was a very good surface for batting. So I can't blame the bowlers for that. It was very tough as a bowler in this game. So overall, their bowling was pretty good, but they can get better. Let's talk about their fielding performance. I thought they dropped too many catches again, like the Rajasthan Royals did. The Punjab Kings now, not the Kings 11. Now the Punjab Kings now. Excuse me. They dropped too many catches. They should have took those catches, obviously. So they need to improve their fielding going forward, the Punjab Kings. But overall, it was a pretty good win for the Punjab Kings first up to start their IPL campaign. This will give them lots of confidence going forward for the rest of this IPL season. And hopefully, this could lead to bigger and better things for the Punjab Kings in 2021. Let's have a look at both teams' potential 11s for their next match. And we'll start with the Rajasthan Royals. Their next match is against the Delhi Capitals. I don't think the Rajasthan Royals need to make any changes to their 11. Even though they lost this game against the Punjab Kings, I think it's very important for the Rajasthan Royals to get as much game time and build that consistency and cohesion with this group of players. Obviously, for the Rajasthan Royals, this season's all about rebuilding, trying to get better, trying to improve. So it's very important for them to get as much game time into these players as possible. So the likely 11 could be Stokes, Vora, Sampson, Butler, Dubé, Parag, Tewatia, Morris, Gopal, Sakriya, and Rahman. Let's have a look at the Punjab Kings in their potential 11 for their next match against the Chennai Super Kings. I don't think they'll make any changes for their next game, the Punjab Kings, because as they say in cricket, you don't change a winning team, and I don't think they need to make any changes. The team pretty much played well in this game against the Rajasthan Royals. And it's very important for the Punjab Kings to get as much game time into these players as possible, because the more games the team plays together, the better the team will be in terms of consistency and cohesion within the group. So I don't think they need to make any changes at all heading into their next game. So the potential 11, I should say, would be Rahul, Agarwal, Gale, Huda, Puran, Khan, Jai Richardson, Ashwin, Shami, Meredith, and Singh. What can we expect from both teams heading into their next match? We'll start with the Rajasthan Royals. Their next game is against the Delhi Capitals on Thursday. For the Rajasthan Royals, they just need to pick themselves up after this defeat against the Punjab Kings and try to get better and improve heading into their next game against the Capitals. No doubt it's going to be a challenge against the Capitals, obviously, because the Capitals are one of the best sides in the IPL. So for the Rajasthan Royals, it's just about trying to play to the best of their ability, trying to improve and get better, because for them this year, this IPL season's a rebuilding season for the Royals. You never know, they may cause an upset. As we saw in this game against the Punjab Kings, they nearly caused an upset. So obviously they didn't get the job done against the Punjab Kings, but this game will give them lots of confidence going forward for the rest of this IPL season for the Rajasthan Royals. Obviously, it's going to be a challenge against the Capitals, as I said before, but don't discount the Royals to cause an upset in this game against the Capitals. For the Punjab Kings, their next game is against the Chennai Super Kings on Friday. For the Punjab Kings, it's all about trying to bounce back performances, obviously. Trying to get that consistency and trying to get a couple of wins back-to-back. Obviously, if they start IPL 2021 with a 2-0 record, obviously that will give them lots of confidence going forward for the rest of this IPL season. Because if you start 2-0, that will really boost your confidence and obviously, hopefully for the Punjab Kings this season, get a spot in the playoffs. I don't see them having any problems beating the Chennai Super Kings in that next game for them. But for the Punjab Kings, it's just about trying to back up the performance from this game against the Royals into that game against the Chennai Super Kings. Obviously, if they win that game against the Super Kings, it's a 2-0 start for 2021. Obviously, that will boost their confidence going forward for the rest of this IPL. Overall, what a game of T20 cricket. The IPL keeps producing epic games of cricket, both teams scoring 200 plus runs, and in the end, the Punjab Kings managed to hold on to win by 4 runs. Heartache for the Rajasthan Royals, but a great effort from them. At the end of the day, the Punjab Kings may have won, but the true winner was the game of cricket. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell to get the latest episodes of the podcast, and like and share our Facebook page. Until next time, keep safe and bye for now.